Hello, everybody. This is Mickey Mao with CartoonMoneyPrinters.com. Today is March 14th, High Day 2025. Um, let's see here. I just want to give a brief little shout out to our Rumble page. We need at least 100 follows on Rumble to get into the creator program. So if you could go over there, rumble.com, and then look up Cartoon Money Printers. We will be there, and give us a follow. That would really help us out a lot. And today I am joined by Astronaut Toad. Why don't you go and say hey?
Happy Friday, everybody.
So I got a question for you. The bottom is in. Is it?
It's pretty dang close. I mean, the basic technical analysis is showing us we're running out of reasons for more down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we have made our forecast of what would happen. It has been happening exactly as we forecasted. And there's only a few reasons left why we might go lower. So you have to start looking at this being a possible reversal. One thing I've learned over the years is that the train likes to leave the station without the retail traders, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. That's the whole strategy of market makers is the train leaves the station without you. That creates FOMO. And then the train comes backs up and runs you over, liquidates you, or runs your stop losses because you're chasing. And so we have to be ready for the train to leave the station without us. Which means right about now is when we should have been getting into a long. We called it yesterday in the private Discord, like, hey, this could be the bottom. We've seen some signs of reversals. So yeah, let's get into the quick technical analysis for the Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, looking at the monthly chart, we've got this massive down candle. February was brutal, engulfing, bearish, like. This candle is almost twice the length or more than twice the length of the previous candle, which was a bit of a doji after the other doji candle. So on the monthly chart, Bitcoin's looking like it's made a bearish reversal pattern. Our money minter indicator that we have here that you can see, I'm not sure why it didn't print the bear divergence right here. Might be I need to adjust the settings to be a little more loose or something like that. But there's the bear div right there. That's a lower high on the oscillator. But we got a, well, even there's the highest close and there's the even higher close. This is clearly a bear divergence. And as we have tested, we back tested this, me and Kermit, we back tested this in the private Discord a lot this week of like, how many candles is a divergence good for? And we saw that a divergence's trend, like this signal of a trend reversal, is good for 10 to 15 candles. So from this high of January, we could expect up to 10 to 15 candles of downtrend. I know people don't want to hear that because that's the entire year. If it's 12 candles from January, that could take us all the way till next year. But that's how long such a big, strong divergence has to play out, possibly. I don't think it will play. I think it'll play out faster than that, because what we've been seeing as we get down to the weekly chart and the daily chart, you'll see that the squiggle I drew on the chart, and I was like, yeah, I might play this and this and this. It just was like, okay, and price did all of the things that I forecasted like right away, which is annoying because I'm giving it room to breathe and being like, okay, the market likes to outlast you. The market likes to be more volatile for longer than you can stay liquid. That's how the market makers take your money. But yeah, this let's go to the weekly chart. Monthly chart, not much to see. Weekly chart, we've got the 2025 forecast here. That call out I have not updated yet, but this is, I mean, it's playing out exactly. I gave it until late April to do this, but it's already hit another low. So this high, this low to this high to this low, like it already did that in the last, these 3 weekly candles. It made that low, it came back up during that week, and then it dropped again down to this low. So the weekly chart's already playing out. It's on an accelerated scale, okay? And if we scale this back, you can see how it might get down here to this old all-time high. We got the golden pocket still down here at $71,107. That's a 71717. That's an interesting number. It might hit that. Weird, cool numbers like to get hit. Speaking of that, we got 69818. We got all kinds of reasons for the golden pocket to get hit, I guess you could say. It is this range here where there's a lot of resistance. See how these candles just slam, slam, slam. Somebody was taking massive profits here, this level. So it might get all the way down here to 68,000, 71,000. But we're running out of reasons for that to happen. Like I said, it's playing this out. And so it could do within the next month or maybe next week, I don't know. It could make a stab down to this level. And if it gets down here, that is a really good buying opportunity, not financial advice. But yeah, what were you going to say?
I could easily see them retesting the all-time high and then poking around there for a little bit of liquidity before bouncing back up. Like a 69,
yeah.
69K, like the psychology level or psychological level is going to be, I think, another big player, as it usually is.
Yeah, so let's look at the other option, the other situation here. We got this massive bear divergence here, and momentum, money flow is still positive, but momentum is dropping like a rock. Okay, this is aiming down. Let's look at this maximized. Look at that, is just steep going down, and we've got all the way until here. This is probably going to give us a bullish divergence. This cross right there. All this has to do is see how there's this is where it crosses right here. So that's the low. And then what I do is I go like this. I mark it as a bullish divergence. And then I put question mark. because here's what we look for. This is probably going to go below here because it's flying down. That's probably going to go lower than that. Once it gets below here, and let's see, yeah, it could get, all the way down here. I don't know. Then when it comes back up, I'll mark that medium gray. No, I'm going to mark it lighter. Then, if what we see is this, in order for this bullish divergence to be invalidated, price has to come all the way down below this low in order for it to not be a bullish divergence. So unless you think Bitcoin is going to go to $50,000, we're having a bullish divergence is virtually guaranteed, okay? Because there's almost no way that this is turning around on a dime and going up above this high. It's going to get below that probably. This is going to take, it might take a few weeks, but this is what we're looking at. It's going to give us something like that or something like this. And that's going to give us a bullish divergence.
Yeah. I think it'll take a
It's going to scare everybody. But if you look at Money Minter, it's a bull div.
Yeah, I think it'll give us like a reasonable stab into that all-time high.
And the thing is, right now, the political situation, we just have like any day of the week, we could have a random excuse for a black swan type event. But also because of how weird and back and forth things are in the White House right now, it could be a doji wick candle like this, Market could go absolutely flying down and then shoot right back up because some tariff gets announced or takes effect, and then like 24 hours later the tariff is like, oh no, never mind, that could happen. And that's exactly what happens here. This was late February, early March, this crazy doji candle here. This thing dojied by what? 17% on Bitcoin, a wick that is a 17% drop. That's an incredible doji right there.
And it went, think of it like this. It went three ways. It went down, reclaimed itself, becoming the doji, and then it went down again.
Yeah.
On the next following candle.
So that's what we're looking at. I am expecting, even if, so the last one was 17%. Even if we get a candle that wicks from this area, say we get, the next candle, the next few weeks, we get a candle that's somewhere up here or in this area, and it wicks down, it only has to drop 10 to 12%. A wick that's only 10 to 12%, or a candle that's 10 to 12% down to get to that old all-time high. That's a much smaller doji than this crazy one. Or this one, let's see what this one was here, right here. Top to bottom, this one was 21%, that candle right there. Okay. So we could get a doji candle right here. It's only 17% top to bottom, and it's touching that old all-time high. So we are cautious, all right? Looking at the weekly chart, we know that there's lower lows. Let's look at the daily chart. And I'm going to hide all this stuff. Looking at the daily chart, again, we do not have bullish market structure yet. Let's hide my lines here. On the daily chart, we've got some serious climbing to do before we get bullish. Here's the 1 day high, and then here's an internal high. We got a long way to go before the daily chart is totally bullish, okay? We do have this awesome bull div here on the daily chart, which is giving us an excuse to look for a long. This, I'm going to go with the lowest low here to this lowest low, even though those don't match up with these lows here, just to emphasize how strong this bull div is. So that's why when this printed, we said in the private Discord, we said, and last week we were saying, here's where we were right here last week. Let's see, what do we have on the daily? Bearish. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, this was 2 weeks ago. Wow, look at that call. Bearish. Oh. But anyways, when this printed over the last few days, we were saying, let's look for a long. We got a long ways to go before the weekly chart or the daily chart gets truly bullish. But for now, this is great. We can look at the 4-hour chart and we can say, this is right now, actually, look at that. It's an SFP. So technically this dotted line does need to get, but it's kind of showing support there. And then this new high, that did, okay, so we have officially full bullish market structure shift on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. And we got this nice little, see how this low, on the daily chart, this low put in a big bull div. Then on the 4-hour chart, same thing, bullish divergence. What are we going to find? I guarantee you on the 5 or 15-minute chart, there's going to be another bull div because see, we got these two lows here. I can already, let's highlight it and say from here to here, we are looking for a bull div. I guarantee you there's going to be a bull div in this circle right here. Okay, let's find it. So the 4-hour, it's getting up there. We might get a bear div. It might drop back down. This is, you know, this is clean price action, but here we got some fair value gaps on the 4-hour chart. And whenever you see lots of fair value gaps like this, I get a little squeamish. I think to myself, hey, that's you know, that's not the tidy clean price action that I'd like to see. So, and did this get 50%? No, so this is above the 50% still. So this just loves to rip down. So if we got, you know, it pokes above this high, gets everybody excited again, and then just slashes with a crazy wick on a 1-day candle or a 4-hour candle, it wicks down into some of this liquidity here. So we could expect that.
Pull a fib on that range.
We are looking for longs. Huh?
Pull a fib on that range.
Yeah, let's see. There's the golden pocket right there. Fibby. So there's your trade. Look for a trade. This is what we're going to be doing in the private Discord. The 50% is right there. So there's trade number 1 that we're going to look for. Trade that to the top of the range or to the 1.27 fib extension. That's a nice 3.8 risk reward. You could drop that down below the 786. Oh, you still got, yeah, you got a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio there. That's nice. Then we could either add to it or get stopped out if you want to be really tight on you know, smaller market structure. And then you're going down here and you're saying there's another trade from there to there and get that right off of this golden pocket, the fair value gap somewhere around there. And then yeah, you got approximately a 1 to 2 risk reward there. So there's our 2 trades. That's what we're going to be looking for this week. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch this 4-hour market structure. Here's the low. Do that. 4-hour. Change this to a 4-hour range. There's equilibrium. So what we want is discount. That's the golden pocket. So that's what we're looking for. There's our zone. Okay. Now let's jump all the way to the 15-minute chart. And look for that. Hey, look at that. There we go. So this thing was just bull divergencing up and down the block. And I love to see this golden dot here. Usually this golden dot means that the market is exhausting in this direction, but it's not done yet. I used to just blindly buy this golden dot on the money minter And it's good for a little bit. Like if you bought in here when this printed, you could trade it up to that high, but see how it got slapped back
So
down. Then this whole long thing printed the bull div. You got another bull div here. You got this. Technically, it did not give a bull div between these two lows, but these lows were all lower. And then when this printed, that was it. The other
so
thing I love to see is this fair value gap just getting absolutely and immediately wrecked right
so
there. That's my entry
a
signal.
little bit of sauce under the hood. The gold dot and the orange dot are they're like supposed to be warnings. It's saying that the wave is turning over, but the RSI is showing weakness. Um, I'm not sure which RSI, but it's supposed to be a warning.
So exactly, that's what you're right. That's what I didn't finally fully explain. When I see this golden dot, I'm going to hide the other ones here. There's the golden dot. When I see this, I do not just blindly go long, okay? I see it as a warning. Pay attention. Buyers or sellers are getting exhausted. And then you watch for the bull divergences after the golden dot. You know, this came up, it started making this high. That would have been a great trade right there, because this gave you a bullish divergence from there to there. If you'd found an entry, let's look for an entry here. Yeah, we don't need to. I guarantee you there's a 1 minute entry on that zone right there. But then you could have traded it back to this high. And then you get this bearish divergence. So you're like, okay, I'm going to wait. But you're still paying attention to this golden dot. And then when it gives you these lows, probably would have traded this. If you get an entry, you try and trade it to one of these highs. Might have tried to trade it to this high and got stopped out. But when you get this is what got us really excited. It slammed down. And I think we also need to look at the par for this one. The par is our custom, homemade everything. Multi RSI. It's all our secret sauce. This is where it's at. See that? See how that printed that bull div? Very nice. This is one of our favorite homegrown indicators that we absolutely love. And that's it right there. When it gets, I think I took a long here on this when it was just maxed out either on Bitcoin or on the NASDAQ. I longed it right there. And then I got some profits enough to cover the trade. And then it ripped back down. But then when it does this and it prints that very nice bull div, and then it just eats up this fair value gap, that's your signal. Of course, we probably were waiting for a pullback to get in. Like I would have waited for this fair value gap to get tapped. But unfortunately, price just never really came back for this fair value gap for a while. So we still got this fair value gap, and that's one of the reasons why I'm a little cautious on just going nuts with a long right now. But this is showing lots of strength. We got these, actually, let's see here. This rolled over. So yeah, from here, we're looking a little weak.
We're also going into the weekend.
Yeah, we're on the 15-minute chart. So now we're zoomed in enough that this is the weekend. It could range within this range. See how this just grinded up nice and slow? The weekend loves to just go liquidity, 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 and just grind back down. Mm-hmm. So as we're playing out here, this is Saturday and then Sunday afternoon, right about here. the stock market will open again for the Sunday afternoon overnight, Monday morning session. And so that's why I would say that's what we could expect. I'll draw it out. We'll see what it looks like next week. Let's see. Based on the par, what do I think is going to happen from here? I don't know. I think we got some liquidity here, so we might grab that. But then we're going to get down in here, bounce off of that low, because you can see how historically these highs are, there's a lot of highs right there. So that's stacked highs. Get down there, bounce up, find resistance underneath one of these levels. See how this right here was previously resistance, so maybe there. And then back down to one of these lows. See, again, you got these highs and lows respected all along there. So that's why I'm guessing this range is next. Then this could, we're at equilibrium on the 4 hour. So it could do a little thing here and then go. Or if it decides not to, it could find resistance again and get back down to this fair value gap at the golden pocket / discount and do its thing here and then go from there. Okay. So, oh no, I was going to give this until Sunday. What are we on? I'm on New York time, so I got to go. Yeah, 6 p.m. I'll give it, there we go, somewhere around there. This will be my forecast. And that's it. We'll see how this plays out. And there we go. What else do we want to look at? Let's see. Oh, I wanted to glance at hype because I DCA'd in a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you wanted to look at
Yeah, let's
hype
check that
and, liquid, like I was asking.
Oh, I want to check par and pivots as well. So here I am on our pivots extreme indicator. Bitcoin has printed increasingly narrow CPRs. So these ranges, this isn't super tight, razor thin, but it's 3 days. We're going on 3 days in a row when we should ask Kermit. Hey, Kermit.
Oh, he's not here.
It's 0.7%, $580 on the par. I mean the pivot. And then this one was 0.8%, $670. So that's a pretty tight pivot range. CPR.
Yeah.
So this is giving me vibes of, you know, what we were looking at earlier. Like it could drop down. Let's look back here. Okay, there's my forecast. Now let's look at the pivots on the same situation. In order for that to happen, like it could bounce from this pivot and just go. But if it does, I'll draw the same range. This is going to look like this. Oh no. Oh no. That's got to go the other way. All right, this is sloppy, but you know, you get the idea. That's this CPR lines up with the golden pocket. So this CPR might get slashed through. If you want to watch this level. What are we at? 83,670 down to 83,055. Watch this level. It could offer support and it could rocket from there because this is right below this low on this is a 15-minute low right there. So that could wick down, fake out everybody, and then rip to Kingdom Come. But if this doesn't offer any support, we're going here. We're checking this 50% or the 618 fib. All right. All right. And that's the par and pivots. I did want to check hype. I'll start on check market smasher. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, the market smasher gave some beautiful trades with this rolling over. Man, look at that. If you'd gotten in here as these were printing and put your stop loss above that high, you're looking at 1 to 11 risk reward, which is a 50% drop. That is painful. Ouch. So at least you got your 1 to 4 risk reward. And then if you let your runner run just based on market structure, your trade is still valid. Well, you could have put your stop loss. You could have put your stop loss all the way down here and then get stopped out on this 4-hour break. Or if you were lazy and missed dropping your trailing stop loss, you might still be in this short for hype. And you might have added to it here.
Look at that fake out on the first one that began the short pummel. There's
this?
Like that doji of doom.
Yeah. This was mid-February. What was going on politically then? Was this that Chinese AI thing? I forget what happened here, but this is right around that time. So it might have been that, where the market was trying to pump, and then when the Black Swan news comes out, it just everything just stops what it's doing and dies. So anyways, here's why I'm liking this. That all of this, when you see a channel like this, let me hide this here. And
February of which day? I'm asking Brock.
February of what?
Which date? February.
Monday, February 17th. But here's what I'm noticing. You got a, if you draw a regression trend on this right here, you can see just how perfect this downtrend has been. See how these lines are all lining up? And this is one tool that we use. We've talked about it in the Discord before, of like, when you see a downtrend this perfect, you pay attention. We don't trade off of these lines, but you do draw them. Modified shift, there it is. You look at these lines and then you wait for them to break. So right now, you can see that this is getting up above these levels and it's trying to find support. It's got these fair value gaps. So this is where we stand now. And why I'm looking at this is I'm liking the strong coins that were before all of this craziness started. These were the darling coins that if the bull run had continued, these would have been going to the moon. That's the strongest coins are the ones that bounce back the best when the doom and gloom is over and people realize, oh, we're not going to, World War III or recession or whatever. We still might, but people are might be waking up to or thinking, hey, maybe we got good times. I don't know. Anyways, that's why I'm looking at hype and getting into a long. I think I got in on one of these candles here the other night when it was when it broke above this level. That's when I got happy. That 4 hour right there. And yeah. A lot of coins are looking like this right now. Oh yeah, I got into Solana too. Ooh, that is looking lovely.
Do you want to look up Spotify? Look at his stock.
What the heck? Wow, what is going on here?
I mean, that is such an overvalued fucking stock.
Why? Okay, so the bottom was in 2023. How is this? What is going on here? Okay, so here's what I see about this particular stock. I'm going to draw my fib from this low. Let's see, what's that? 443.21, 444. Okay, so this is lower. I mean, that by itself is, that's kind of okay. I'm kind of okay with that. That was a good buy. The 786, the 618. You know, the wick caught that, this fair value gap caught that wick there. But the fact that this fair value gap just absolutely got destroyed, it's kind of got me a little worried. What are we on, the weekly? Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking that good, but that's kind of bullish if you got on that train. The main thing I'm worried about here is this CME gap from here to here. It covered 50% of that CME gap, but that's not good. You got a ooh, this is a golden pocket situation. That's not good. Yeah, it's even if this is going higher, I have no idea why Spotify would be at $600 a share. Good grief. That seems like a short squeeze. Like is Roaring Kitty doing something? I don't know.
There's nothing Roaring
But
Kitty can do with a stock that with that much market. $600 a share, $500 a share. That's insane.
yeah,
Like you'd need a lot
and
of
the
fucking
volume here.
capital.
Yeah, so this, look at that. The volume at $550 a share, the volume was 5.8 million. So 5.8 million times $500, yikes, that's some heavy trading. What's going on here? Anyways, I'm looking at this. If there's some sort of insider market thing going on or whatever, if somebody knows something that we don't know, this is what I'm looking at right here. This you got a golden pocket inside a golden pocket. Anytime you see that, this low right here, hello. Let's see what we got on the 15-minute chart. Or maybe call it a 4-hour. Let's see. Nope, 1 hour. Yeah, I'll call it 1 hour market structure. So this is a 1 hour low. And that's just begging to get tapped on the liquidity. This empty space right here, from there where it closed to this low, there's your liquidity grab. Something's going on.
Spotify ended 2024 with 675 million monthly active users. I don't believe that. I know Kermit uses Spotify.
Yeah, I mean, I use it. Maybe this is the next Zoom or Peloton or I don't know. Could be.
And it is making
But we got lots of gaps down below. I would long this based on this narrative of somebody knows something that we don't know. And you got this this fair value gap that's also providing could turn into support here. So I would long this from this area. I definitely, we're on the 1 hour chart right now. Let's look at the market structure in this zone right here. Range block, 4 hour longs. I'm just going to cheat, and then let's go to the 5 minute. See, this is beautiful. This is like, I don't know, maybe ICT Michael Huddleston is doing something here and having fun, because look at that. Market structure break. What are we on, 5 minute? And then it retraces, gives you the perfect entry. Like, could not ask for a better entry. Respects this fair value gap down here. Well, no, it chops right through it, so that would have been a little scary, but I would enter that. And then you're off to the races. Like, it's gapping up. If you bought that, if you Robin Hooded in right here on this golden pocket, you are up 16%. Nice. But as I have pointed out, I'm looking for a drop. Yeah, I got a nice little liquidity grab right here. See this? Look at that. Zap. Ooh, that is going to... Let's check this next week, okay? Let's make a note to check this out. Here's our line. That is a liquidity grab right there. That's a 5 minute getting rejected hard. And then here's the 5 minute low. And then here's an internal 5 minute low. That is going to slip and then rip. So here's my forecast. If anything bad happens over the weekend, it's gonna open like gapping down, because we know this thing can gap. It's gapped up a lot already. So it could gap down all the way below this, find this liquidity here, and then get back up to cover some of the gap, and then eventually get down here, there, maybe where are we going? And then somewhere down here before it goes off to the races again. All right. So yeah, this is Monday. By the end of Monday, we'll give it till Tuesday. Golden pocket inside golden pocket. So there's that. This is my forecast for Spotify. Interesting. We'll check it out next Friday.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Nobody in chat.
And the par is also, let's see what the par is doing on the 15. I love the par, and that is, like, if you guys haven't watched Kermit's tutorials or live streams on how to use the par, this thing is the secret sauce for everything. Yeah, it's given, this is maxed out. That's a par gap right there. Well, the 4 hour's still coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna max that again, and then it's totally primed for a par gap, like dumb.
Oh yeah, so the daily rolled over already. The 4 hour rolled over. That's not a bull div, but that's pretty darn close. But for the 4 hour to get, here's what I'm seeing. I'm gonna hide everything except the 4 hour par, okay? I'll leave the daily up as well. If we look at the 4 hour, look at this. That's the high, and it's way up here. That is a bearish divergence, like crazy. Because this is up here. This high is all the way up here. There's no way this is I mean, it could. I shouldn't say there's no way, but that's if this rolls over anywhere below this line, then you're dropping back down. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, look, there's a little empty space here. So I get to take my forecast and I get to update my forecast to go, hey, let's grab this up here. Scare, just think everybody super bullish, and then it slams down. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah. It'll do one of these. Like, see this right here? See how it gapped up and then it gapped up from here. This is what a gap up looks like on a stock. Overnight, Tuesday to Wednesday. It closed here and then it opened here. And when it did that, it wicked up to here and then it closed down here and then it bottomed out right around here, which is probably 50% of this move. Yeah, there you go. Front run that golden pocket. Yeah, we're definitely, there's got to be tons of liquidity down here. I would assume that it wants to come back to that. So there we go. Interesting stock pick. I don't know where you heard it or why you thought of this stock, but that's an interesting pick, and I like it.
Recently, and so I was looking at it, and I was like, I can't see why it's valued that high, aside from the fact that they only gave a small amount of shares out. So it's supply demand at that point. If they only have 100,000 shares that they made public, of course it's gonna go fucking mooning, which would give them an opportunity to do a stock split, or where they issue more shares.
Yeah,
because I think ideally what you want to do with stocks that are overvalued like that is issue more shares, so that way more people can get in on it. I think that's the logic behind it. What do you think?
Yeah, either split or issue. Either way, I don't understand why. Let's see what some others did.
Yeah, I asked Brock what the fuck was going on with Spot, and it was like just giving me basic technical.
Peloton got up to it only got up to 170. I mean, it was doing 400. It was doing that much volume. Oh man, look at those poor chumps who bought this much here. Oh, look at that. Somebody thought this is it. This is the reversal. And they bought 500 million shares because they thought that it was bottoming out right above this previous low. Somebody made a $500 million mistake. Oh my gosh. I don't feel so bad about my financial struggles now. Okay. I've never made a $500 million mistake. Wow. I mean, it is a doji. So this was mostly selling. So what happens is, you see this candle. It's topping out at about 500 million, okay? But you see that it's a doji, which means that this much buying happened, but this much and this much selling happened, okay? Or something along those lines. I forget how it works. Let's see. Can I look at the Ganeshi candles and get an idea? Yeah, so this much buying happened, this much selling happened, something along those lines. I forget how it works. But either way, the psychology of this is,
somebody was buying sell orders that they were throwing on the market, and he was just getting his
let's call it 50. Yeah, just for the sake of easy numbers, let's call it 50-50 in this doji here. 500 million shares. Okay, 250 million shares got dumped on unsuspecting buyers who are like, oh, the bottom is in, we're going back to the moon. Because you got this giant fair value gap up here, and this was 2022 when No, actually, this would be the worst time to buy because this was like right before everything else melted down too. So yeah, somebody was really, really not smart to the tune of they got
That's like a hedge fund.
250. Yeah. Yeah, so that's probably what happened is
They're just
somebody was selling crazy and hedge funds are probably opening shorts or whatever because they know that it's doomed and they're just riding it into a shallow grave.
yeah. And
What was the
Peloton,
other one that
the
I wanted to
concept
check?
itself is temporary. Like it seems like a fad. Like the whole Peloton craze. Like I didn't see any like ubiquity or everybody doing it in my peripherals, as well
Look at,
as
look at Zoom, the same exact chart almost as Peloton.
yeah.
And it got up to $500 a share. Oh, that, wow. As the pandemic ended from June of 2021 to January of
Because
2022,
people went outside and stopped using their devices.
people got off of Zoom and oh man, that is a bloodbath.
Yeah, that is a pandemic pump, if I were to call it anything.
Yeah. But I mean, can you imagine getting in around here? You're like, oh, hey, discount, market structure, yay,
That's actually a good point.
let's
Like,
draw it.
what if we looked at during the pandemic? That was one of the biggest transfers of wealth in American history.
Yeah, because here's the last week in February. The pandemic didn't start until here. March, lockdown, mid-March. This is very interesting. Almost zero volume happened in this March. Must have been some serious confusion. Look at that. No volume and price went absolutely flying. And then everybody jumped on this bandwagon and bought all the people that are taking profits from above this high here. But as soon as it bounced off of this old high, that's why it went flying. But it did so on weak volume, and it chopped and chopped and chopped. But yeah, just imagine getting in anywhere around here,
Look at Rumble,
and then
like,
it just, man.
because we had a lot of big players that are effectively leaving Rumble. I mean, leaving YouTube to go and stream only exclusively on Rumble. So I wonder if like today, like the announcement was made today. I wonder if there's
That is an interesting. This is not bode well. I'm going to draw the liquidity zone here. You're not going to like this because here is where it's interesting.
and that doesn't take effect until March 22nd.
Yeah, I do not like how it just slipped right underneath this zone without much of a. It sliced right up through it and then it dropped right back down. So it is finding. Okay, there's a heat map level. And then I will drag this one down here. Make that a little narrower.
Damn you, Magnet.
Love it. So we are finding support. This ain't the golden pocket. This is probably the 786. Yep, called it right there. Bam. The fact that this just went right through the golden pocket is understandable because whatever news this was caused this massive CME gap that needed to get eaten up. Okay. So now we're still inside the CME gap. We have sort of bounced off the 786. Earnings and revenue. Ooh. So oh man, we need to note this. this is looking a bit like a capitulation sale. We've got a what is clearly on the daily par. Let me save this. No, I don't want to save those as defaults. I want money. I just want money minter. Oh, that's still coming down. Let's check. Filter. Also coming down. So this has got some more time before we call it a bottom out. But look at that, it's squeezed. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's annoying. So weird. All right, almost done. We wouldn't have traded this squeeze because it was kind of an open-ended squeeze, but it was at least one to pay attention to. And now we are back at this level. I would say on this earnings report, let's go down to the 1 hour. It's not showing up on the 1 hour chart. So there's our earnings. Yeah, this looks like it could do some ripping if they have good earnings.
And I think they will.
Look at that. This is a perfect curve for a bottoming out process. Right around there. Call that, here's where it was like vertical, right? Okay. So that's, let's draw it from here to here. Maybe from around here. Yeah. Either way, that's what I'm looking at. Something like that.
Yeah.
And the earnings report shoots this thing to the moon.
Do you want to call it here?
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Overall, I'm going to go back to Bitcoin for Market Smasher. Overall, we're looking good. And hang out in the private Discord because we're watching this. We were looking at this long here. We're going to be looking for more long opportunities. We're not saying that the bear market is over or that the downward trend is over because there's still some reason to go lower, but we're running out of reasons to go lower. So we are definitely looking for longs in these ranges here. So come hang out in the private Discord. I'll be there trading live Tuesday mornings, Wednesday mornings, depending on who around the world is interested. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We do trade other things aside from just crypto. So Astronaut Toad, he does a fantastic job all around, and I'm very grateful for everything you do, man. But yeah, so if you're interested in joining us, go to www.cartoonmoneyprinters.com. You can try us out for a month for free if you get the monthly subscription. Yeah, and thanks for joining us. Have a